Lang is, he lives on the 25th floor, so he's somewhere in the middle, and he's a physiologist, and someone very much interested in human behavior and the anatomy of the brain. And he is a single bachelor who's moved into the high-rise to get away from responsibilities, to get away from life. So that's his place. A smart man, an intelligent man, a figure of mystery and refinement, who is a lone wolf in the jungle that becomes the building. The experience of making High Rise has far exceeded the expectations I had. It's been one of the most joyful and fulfilling creative experiences of my life. The atmosphere created by Jeremy Thomas, who is an amazing producer and really believes in creating a space for a group of creative collaborators to come together and play without prescriptions or edicts, and it created an amazing atmosphere where I think the actors and the crew felt like they had complete freedom to go as far as they felt they could, and because of Ballard's sensibility and Ben's taste, it created this amazing playing range of extremes that you could go from very, very cool and refined, elegant, sexy and sort of sleek, to absolutely raw, feral, wild, unhinged. And that experience, strangely enough, for material that was so dark, was actually incredibly joyful, because there was such trust and such freedom on set, and people were really kind of felt like they were, pushing the envelope and taking things as far as they could, and it's very rare on set that you feel that freedom. I did quite a lot of preparation of different kinds. I mean, I read a lot of Ballard. I read a lot about him because I wanted to understand it sounds quite Swattish in a way, but I wanted to understand the intellectual context that this story comes out of. I wanted to get inside his brain as much as I could, understand the kind of the totality of his work and put High Rise in a context. And interestingly, I did a lot of work on being a doctor, on trying to be specific about the kind of experience and training and worldview that Dr. Lang would have had. I went to watch an autopsy, a live autopsy, which I'd never seen, and if anyone's ever watched an autopsy, it's a very intense and strange experience. I think it's a fantastical nightmare that is familiar to all of us, to imagine who we might become in a situation like this. When we're complicit in the demise of a physical environment, and complicit in the guilt and shame and responsibility that ensures, and find ourselves surprising. And I think I'm fascinated to see where audiences are either moved to empathize or repelled by the behavior they witness on screen.
高級タワーマンションハイライズへようこそ。最高の眺望、スーパーにジム、エステまで、ここにはあなたの望むすべてがあります。
I'm so sorry. I thought you were empty.
I just moved in.
Why don't you come up later and have a drink?
ここはユートピアなのです。ルールに従っている限りは。
You don't know how things work around here yet, do you?
There's a rigid social hierarchy here, whether royal likes it or not.
We pay the same charges as the top floors. We want our fair share of the power.
You built all this.
I put all my energies into this tower.
Colonizing the sky. And who can blame him when you look at what's going on down at street level?
Things would be better if we could afford to move to a higher floor.
We should be prepared to meet moderate resistance.
They've fitted themselves so tightly into their slots that...
Slots designed by you.
But it takes a certain determination to row against the current.
Lang here has been charged with disseminating propaganda amongst the lower orders.
I don't know what caused it, and I didn't do it.
What are you doing? What are you doing in there?
Teething problems. Building's still settling.
Doesn't it seem odd that a man can fall from the 39th floor and not one police car turn up?
セレブたちのマンションで一体何が起きたのか。
The ones who are the real danger are the self-contained types like you.
Perhaps you're right.
ハイライズ。皆様のご入居お待ちしています。